They would have all worked out, and I would have said, because they all work out, they all belong. Okay, but they don't technically have what Natalie just said, what the book figured out, and what I didn't expect you to figure out, because I would have done what Savannah did. But what the book figured out is that they don't actually all have the same scale factor. So, technically, to go from this proportion to that one, from this ratio to this one, they multiplied by 2.8. And technically, to go from this one to this one, they multiplied by 2.8. And from this one to this one, they multiplied by 2.8. This one, they didn't multiply by 2.8. They multiplied by 2.5. Now, would I have figured that out? Probably not. I would have done exactly what Savannah did. But if you're wanting an actual legit answer as to what the textbook said, they said it's this one, and because it has a different scale factor. So when I walked, I saw one person wrote, one of them must have a different scale factor. That person would probably get most of their points too. They're on to something. Okay, so let's get a study guide. You need to do both proportions in number 1 and question 2 before the song I play ends. How long is the song? It's normally like a 4-minute song. Make sure number 2 says your hint is to convert. Make sure you do convert before you begin. In trouble is because they did not know any of the answers as a review, which is a little scary because there's a test for it regardless. So tell me what we're supposed to do on the first one. Okay, so you did 10 times 2x plus 6 equals 4 times 8x. When you distributed, you got 20x plus 60 equals 4 times 8. I don't know why I'm distributing that. I got 32x. When you subtract 20 from both sides, what did you end up getting? 12x. Okay, and then when you divide it by 12, you got x equals 5. Natalie said, perfect. If you were really going for the A, it would always be smart to take that answer, plug it back in the problem, and make sure everything works out. That would be smart. Okay, let's go over the second part of number 1, another cross-multiplying one. So 6 times 3.5 and 21x. What did you get? Okay, so x equals 1. Perfect. I wrote that weird, but x equals 1. Yay. It's 21 over 21x. If you divide both sides by 21, you get 1 equals x. That looks better. Okay, I'm going to give you another. I saw many who hadn't had a chance on number 2 yet. They were still stuck on the cross multiplying. Let me fix that because it's bothering some of you. That is my name.
Would I do 60 plus 60 to get the
minutes for 2 hours? Yes. Because one's in hours and one's in minutes. Okay, I'm going to give you another few minutes. The next song is for number 2 and number 3. But on number 3, if you're stuck, change those to decimals and do what we did yesterday. The big over the big, the medium over the medium, the small over the small, and make sure you get the same scale factor each time. Okay. Some help, yeah.
Okay. Well, first, I read it.
Okay, next.
And then I looked at the hint, and so I took 2 hours, and I did 60 plus 60 because it was 60 minutes in an hour, and I got 120.
Okay, so 2 hours she converted to 120 minutes. Great. If you don't do your conversion first, your proportion's going to be wrong. Continue on, Natalie.
And then I put 75 over 120 is equal to 135 over x. And then I cross multiplied and got 216.
Okay, she did it perfect. Let's talk about what people could do to be imperfect. They could miss the conversion. They could set up their second fraction wrong. That's why I put pages and minutes to help myself make sure the pages are in the same slot. They're both in the numerator. The minutes are in the same slot. They're both in the denominator. I cross multiplied and I got 75x equals, what was the giant number?
Oh, 16,200.
16,200 on the nose. And then so x equals 216 minutes. Thank you. I'm slow today. Yes, but all minutes is what I wanted. Okay. If you've had issues with number 1 or number 2, I can tell you what section to look at. That's from 7-1. I don't know why you're doing that. It's annoying. 3 through 6 are all from 7-2. 3 through 6 are all from 7-2. So if you're stuck on number 3, you need a little work on 7-2. But it kind of involves what we were doing yesterday. And Miss Brister always sets it up this way, and I think it's smart. First of all, just to be a smarty pants, notice that it's angle. So if I had to pick what postulate, I would say AA. They didn't say I had to do all that, though, so I'm being a show-off. So let's see. You converted 16/3 to a decimal. What did you get? 5.3? Okay. And then 20/3 was what decimal? 6.6. Now, what I was talking to Caitlin about is that when we convert these to decimals, we're committing sort of a rounding error on our own right now. So when because it was like 5.3 and stuff after that, and 6.6 and stuff after that. So our final answers might be a little fuzzy. Like we might get 1.325 and 1.33. They might be a little off, and the reason they're a little off is because of this rounding. But it's okay. I love Miss Brister's method. I'm going to steal it from now on. I'm going to set up a proportion with the bigs because it says find the scale factor. But then I question, is there even a scale factor? So I found it with all 3 sides. If you only found it with one side, you're not going to get all your points. Okay, big over big would be 6.6 over 5. And when you type that in your calculator, you get some sort of decimal. 1.32, she said. I'm just going to put 1.3. Okay, and then if I do small over small, I would do the smallest and this one's 4, the smallest and this one's 3. So 4 over 3, and when you type that in, what did you get? Okay, I'm going to say 1.3 again. And then my last one would be the medium, so it's whatever's left over. I haven't used the 5.3. I haven't used the 4. So my medium would be 5.3 over 4. What did you get when you typed that in? Okay, so if they ask you what the scale factor is, 1.3 is obviously the scale factor. If you were smart enough to have left it as a fraction the whole time, you would have gotten 4/3. There is potential, and this is, if you're not listening, this would be the key. There is potential that you did it completely different than me, and your answer would still be okay. Yes, dear.
On the test, do we have to explain it as big, small, medium?
No.
Okay.
That's just how I explain it to myself. No. On the test, I have on my key both versions. So if Natalie sets it up with Miss Compton did this shape in the top and this shape in the bottom in all my fractions. If Natalie did it opposite, this shape in the bottom, like she did this one in the bottom and this one in the top, she did it opposite, her scale factor would be different. It would be swapped. She would get 0.75. So if you did this problem and you got 0.75 as your scale factor each and every single time, you're not wrong. It just depends on which shape you chose. Okay, we're going to move on to number 4 and number 5. 4 is pretty easy. You need to set up a proportion and cross multiply. On number 5, I need to change something because Lord knows nothing's perfect in life. It says find the perimeter of this one. Well, we can do that without using anything we've learned lately. You also need to find the perimeter of RST. So try number 4 and number 5, please. I wonder what's the next one.
See, nobody told me to do that.
I think
They just told me to put X. Hang on.
that everyone in the room found the scale factor on number 4. that it was, you could have either done 5 over 4 or 4 over 5. Either one's fine. I'm going to do 4 over 5, but if you did 5 over 4, that's fine. There were 2 steps in all of our problems that involved x's. The first was scale factor, and then the second step was set up a proportion. So I'm going to put that equal to, and I'm going to do x plus 5 over 15. If yours is both reverse fractions, you're fine. Ryan is going to get 2 out of 4 for getting here. Heck, he'll probably get 3 out of 4. I'll probably give Ryan 1 point because he found the scale factor. Yay, Ryan! I give Ryan 2 more points because he set up a proportion. If Ryan can just solve this, he'll get all 4 points for that problem. If I do 4 times 15 and 5 times x plus 5, Jesus, you're on it today, man. I get 60 equals 5x plus 25. If you subtract 25 from both sides. But see, you're still at 3 out of 4 right now, Jesus. A 99 will take. 35 equals 5x. I got 7 equals x. If I was trying to make sure I was getting 100, I would plug back in that x and check to make sure it is good to go. Are there any questions on number 4? Okay, let's look at number 5. Let's look at number 5. And then we'll talk about what I want you to do from here on out. Okay, on number 5, I had to fix the problem because, let's face it, the first part of the problem says find the perimeter of this shape. And my goodness, that is easy. 5 plus 5 plus 4, that's just 14. So that's why I had to step it up a bit and say find the perimeter of the other shape. I know there is one similar to this on the test. If you want to put a star by it. I did, because they had a dash. They each had a dash. So I'm going to put a 6 here. Now my issue is finding the perimeter of that second shape. Because this side has a 6 and that side has a 6. This side doesn't have anything. I need to figure that out. Oh, it's a good thing I know what to do. If you put an x on that side, we can solve this the same way we were solving number 4. What is our scale factor? So we figure that out. It's 5 over 6. I found my scale factor. I set it equal to 4 over x. I cross multiply and I get 5x equals 24, and it's okay, you got a decimal, x does equal 4.8. So since this last side is 4.8, to find the perimeter, you would have to add all 3 sides together. So 6 plus 6 plus 4.8, which was, Kathy, was it 16.8? Okay, that was our perimeter. Really what I'm looking for when I do that is, can Savannah figure out the scale factor? Can Savannah set up a proportion and cross multiply? That's what I'm looking to see. She's going to get most of her points for that. Savannah?
When you did the 4 times, did you have the other triangle?
Yes, I did 5 over 6 and 4 over x, yes.
Where'd you get 4 times? You're out of all the time.
Okay, I would tell you to work the next 2. But we have some issues. If you're hating on that 18 square roots of 3, you can change number 6 to decimal if you need to. On number 6, you're going to have to set up 2 proportions, one to solve for x, one to solve for y. So it's going to take an extra minute. After that, on the back is where we start the section on 7.3. I want you to go ahead and try number 7. If you want to cross out numbers 8, 9, and 10, it's going to be okay. The ones on the test, and I will repeat myself, I'll be even more specific if we have time. The ones on the test are not going to be as hard as 8, 9, and 10. 8, 9, and 10 look like some complicated triangles. And the ones on the test will look more like number 7, or, can you believe it, I would say study my 7.3 notes, because I stole questions from the 7.3 notes. We did not. So you've got this next song to do 6 and 7, and then I'll talk more about the 7.3 notes. There are none on the test that involve square root of 3. Life is not always pretty. You will not always have pretty whole numbers in math class. You can change 18 square root of 3 to a decimal, and Sierra did, and she got the same answer as me. But I don't think that's necessarily wise. I hear the packing up. I find it annoying. You have a test tomorrow regardless. The scale factor is 18 over 9. That reduces to 2 over 1. I set it equal to, and I have to set it equal to 2 different things, because step 1 was scale factor, step 2 is proportion. I'm going to do y over 18, and I'm going to get 36 equals y for my first proportion. I'll just write. Nope, it's unkind. I also do 2 over 1 equals 18 square root of 3 over x. I get 2x equals 18 square root of 3. When you divide by 2, you end up getting x equals 9 square root of 3. That is the final answer. But if you type it in your calculator and you got 15 point something or other, Sierra got the same thing and our decimals matched. So you would be fine. When you flip to the back, this is what I'm concerned about because we've ran out of time and we're not going to get to talk about these much. I'm especially concerned based on the question someone else asked me. Yesterday we went over AA, SAS, and SSS. That's what you need to use. So on this one, they have 2 angles in common. So by AA, and then you have to write your similarity statement. So triangle XYZ is similar to triangle JKL. If you do not put your similarity statements and you do not put by what postulate, you will not get your points. And if you notice on this problem, you also have to solve for x. So if I had time, I would do 10 over 20, which is 1/2. That's my scale factor. And I would do 1/2 equals 13 over x. And I would solve and get 26 equals x. If I were you, I would, for 7.3, I would study over my 7.3 notes, especially because I stole questions from the 7.3 notes. Not the ones we didn't go over, but the ones we talked about yesterday. I stole from there. It looks pretty identical.